Hey bros, Pinty sent me one of their tactical rifle scopes for airsoft guns for free, so let's check it out. Alright, so in the packaging we get, looks like a manual that's in Chinese, so I won't be able to use that. And then a manual in English. We get a lens cleaner. And we get the scope. Okay guys, now this to me is an ACOG-like scope, and it's a fiber optic scope. So you have a real fiber here that absorbs the ambient light and lights up your reticle inside, so you don't need batteries. When you first pick it up, it has weight to it. This is a full metal aluminum alloy scope. I didn't look up the specs, but it may weigh about, I don't know, 2 pounds. I was reading through their website and I didn't realize that not only can you use this for airsoft, but you can use this for real guns as well. So that's pretty awesome. The rail mount is for Picatinny or Weaver rails, and this is a 4x32 scope. So that means that you get a 32 diameter lens and the power is 4 times. And when I look through this thing is really nice and clear. And out in the sunlight, the reticle shows up nice. I haven't tried it out yet, but you should be even able to see the reticle in low light situations, but not completely dark. All right, bros, so I went ahead and mounted it on Robert's Lancer Tactical, and it looks good. Now let's take a closer look at this scope. All right, so here is the fiber that's on top of the scope, and this is what absorbs the ambient light that lights up your reticle. Right here is your adjustment for elevation, and there's a cap on it that you can take off. And then here's where you can make your adjustment. On the side here is where you make your windage adjustment. And you basically do it the same as your elevation adjustment. Right here is your eyepiece. And on this side is where your 32 objective lens is. What's also kind of interesting here with this one is that you have this little sight here underneath the scope if you need to use that. And here is your rail mount. I'm going to try to give you guys some examples of what it would look like to look through this scope. I'm going to be looking at these white apartments right underneath the arrow. You can see the reticle lighting up and you can see the magnification. Now let's go back to what it looks like without the scope. Now I'm on my balcony looking at these vehicles here. And when I take the scope away, again, look at the distance without the scope. Alright bros, so I've got the scope attached to Robert's airsoft gun, and I've also got a barrel camera up here. And I'm going to take some shots at some balloons using the scope, and you can see how it shoots. And by the way, I've still not adjusted the scope to windage or elevation, but I've tried it earlier and it's close enough. I'm about 60 feet away from these balloons, and as you can see, the BBs appear to be just bouncing off of them. Now I moved in closer to about 40 feet. Now I'm at a different area and I'm shooting at approximately 60 feet again. Now I'm shooting the targets at a different angle, and I'm about 45 to 50 feet away. Now I'm at 40 feet and I'm going to shoot in full auto. Alright bros, before I get into my final thoughts, there's a few more things I want to say about this scope. I checked out the specs and it weighs 0.93 pounds. So that's actually less than a pound. I guess it just felt a little heavier to me in the beginning because it was full metal. Another thing is that you need at least 3.5 inches of rail to be able to mount this on your gun. And the last thing is that it says linear field of view 100 yards at 33 feet. And what that means to me is when you're looking down range 100 yards, it's as if you're looking without the scope at 33 feet. So overall, it's really clear. I really like the fiber part of it because it's no fun when you're playing Airsoft and your battery goes out in your scope and then you can't use it. So with this, you'll never need to have a battery. I think the distance is fine for an AEG, and it may even also work for a sniper. If you want to run a smaller scope and make your sniper loadout lighter, then this actually may work. You can see pretty well at 100 yards, and I'm not sure how many sniper shots will you be taking over 100 yards. So it's something to consider. As I said in the video, I didn't make any adjustments with the scope. And if you saw, some of my shots would curve, and actually the hop up needed to be adjusted as well. So due to the hop up and not making the adjustments, I was able to adjust my sight manually to still make shots. All right guys, it's shout out time. The first shout out goes to Vishesh Khatri. The next shout out goes to Jesus Villarreal. The next shout out goes to Gaming with the Winner 3303. The next shout out goes to Henry. The next shout out goes to Owen Smith. The next shout out goes to PCV Flicks. The next shout out goes to Tawai Curtis. The next shout out goes to Army Josh. The next shout out goes to David Ross. The next shout out goes to Godly Mocktails. The next shout out goes to Cayenne PH Official YT. The next shout out goes to The Loop Around. The next shout out goes to Owen Davis. The next shout out goes to Frankster. The next shout out goes to Leonardo Salazar. The next shout out goes to TMB Chance. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell. Be happy, peace out.